Hello, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. This is Magda Comp course from Computer Science. As usual, I came here to discuss the emerging technology, which is the third chapter from the department. And then, if you remember, in the previous class, we have seen the first chapter and then the second chapter. That means introduction to emerging technology and then the data science in the first chapter and the second chapter. In addition to that, I have given you some review questions or exam-based questions which are taken from the two chapters. So today I'm going to tell you about the third chapter, which is called as the artificial intelligence or AI, which is interesting course or field, which is a part of the emerging technology. So the artificial intelligence, you can understand and then have the highlight concept of this artificial intelligence in two parts from the scratch. Uh, so the outline for this course or this chapter is about are going to define the artificial intelligence, then see the types or and goals of artificial intelligence, the artificial intelligence need, then advantage, and then some disadvantage of the artificial intelligence. And then I may give you the assignment or reading assignment around upon the history of this artificial intelligence or background of artificial intelligence. And then lastly, we'll see about the application areas of the artificial intelligence, where the artificial intelligences are applicable in this world. So these outlines will be divided into two parts, and then some of the parts, some of the contents will be discussed today or now, and then in the other content I will come with the last part 2 after a while or after some days. Okay, so what do you think about the artificial intelligence? You have heard some concept or idea or word of artificial intelligence. Most of the time it is emerging technology, and then the countries or the worlds are using and then discussing about this term. So the artificial intelligence by itself, it came from the two words, which is artificial and then intelligence. And then this artificial intelligence means, in another way, we can classify and then define them one by one. For example, artificial means, as obvious, which is man-made, which is created by human being, which is done or prepared by the human. And then intelligence means the ability or the thinking power of the device to learn something and then to solve any type of problem provided to it. So generally we can say that artificial intelligence is what? It is man-made thinking power. Man-made thinking power, that means what? The device which is made up of different materials by human being and then able to think and then to learn something and then to solve any type of problem which is given to it. So generally, when when we sum up the concept of these two terms, we can say artificial intelligence is the branch of computer science in which we can create intelligent machine, because that is why machine, it is a machine means made up of human being, or which is created by human being, and then which is intelligent machine which can behave like human being, which can think like human being, and then even which can able to make a decision based on the given data. So that means what? Artificial intelligence is what? Looks like human being or having like a behavior of human being, and then which can think like us or like the human being, and then which can solve the problem by having some or by passing some decision upon the given data. So we can say that intelligent is what? The ability to acquire or apply knowledge. That means what? The ability to acquire. Acquire means to need or to search or to dig some knowledge from the given knowledge, or extracting any type of knowledge and then applying that knowledge. Because after you get some information or to some hint, and then you are going to what? Apply that one, practice to that one. So this artificial intelligence is what? It is about getting some knowledge, getting some thing or some ability, and then after that applying that knowledge. So this knowledge, especially when we are talking about the knowledge is obviously which came from the experience. When you are trying and then doing something again and again, then you can get that experience. That means trying everything. Then when you are trying something, you get what? The knowledge. The knowledge. So the experience is what? The source of the knowledge. That means what? When you are using some experience, then the knowledge can came from the experience. So you can say that this is knowledge. Let me use Kn, and then this knowledge came from the experience. You can get this one from the experience. I'm not good on writing on this computer by using this paint. Then experience, you can say experience, and then you can get again this experience from what? From training, or you can get from exposure, you see, from training. So that is why the knowledge or the source of the knowledge is what? The training. Because when you try something, when you are taking exposure or trying or giving training or taking some training, and then your daily training is what? Transferred into the experience, and then your experience develops your knowledge. So the intelligence is what? It is the ability to get or find some knowledge and then apply that knowledge. So that is why the knowledge came from experience, then the experience came from the training or exposure. So when we are talking especially about the artificial intelligence, the artificial intelligence is always found or exists when the machine can have like what? Human-based skill. That means what? The human being can learn, the human being can give some reason, the human being can solve the problem. So the same is true for the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence is directly what? It can learn from the environment, from the given, from training, and then it can give some reasoning, and then it can solve the problem when it is given to it. So when we say that the artificial intelligence is especially composed of reasoning, giving some reason, learning, problem solving, perception, and then understanding the language. That means when we are commanding or giving instruction to the device or the machine, we are what? We are using the language, the computer language, any type of programming language. So that language should be understandable, and then the machine can understand that language and then do what is expected from that one. So the artificial system or the system of the artificial is made up of the agent. That means what? That agent might be the human being or the robot. That means the device which is made up of the human, and then it might be the environment. So to say there is artificial intelligence system, there are what? There should be the agent or the device or the human being which is implementing or applying any knowledge upon the environment. So as you see from this picture, here is what? There is the environment which is found on the world, and then the world environment, and then there is what? There is the machine, or there is the agent. So this agent is what? Investigating its knowledge on the environment, because the source of any data or the source of any information is from the environment. So it is interacting with the environment, acting it is knowledge from the environment, and then it receives some perception from the environment, and then by using some actuators, for example like a leg, and then the hands or by which it can move and then interact with the environment. And then there is the sensor, there is a sensor, that means which senses the environment, like a camera sensor or whatever sensor. And then there is the program which is installed on the system and then performing on the environment. So this agent uses this actuator and then the sensor and the work on the environment. So this is the artificial intelligence system. The artificial intelligence real life examples can be, for example, you can say the self-driving cars, Boston Dynamics, the navigation systems, SIMO, chatbots, human versus computer games, and then it is extra. So that means what you can say, these all devices are what man-made devices, and then which can do the given task or instructions based on the given code or instruction. So look, you can see here there is a chat box, the chatbot. That means you can communicate with the chat or with the bot, and then it is communicating with us. And then there is the game, and then there is like this game, and then the artificial intelligence can perform. And then here is the self-driving car, self-driving car without the driver. That means what, the user of that car is commanding or giving an instruction being on his computer, and then based on that the artificial intelligence or this car is going everywhere based on the given instruction or based on the user's command. Okay, so you can see, for example, from here the robots, then the robots are what, one of or part of the artificial intelligence, and then they are what, playing the game, playing what, the ball, playing football. So it has what, it has the sensor to check, to identify the distance of the ball, the size of the ball, the color of the ball, the movement of the ball. Based on that they can also interact like that one. So that is why this type of machine or devices are what, receive an instruction from the user and then do as it is ordered or organized. Okay, so look, for example, this is a drone, this is a drone, and then there is also the simply some rover which is moving from one location to another location based on the users, because the user can lead this instruction by using the concerned code or any type of code, and then based on the code it can direct what wherever the user wants. So the user is what, only directing this one to everywhere it needs. Okay, uh, so when we are talking about this artificial intelligence, we are talking about the machine, because we said that the artificial intelligence is machine or a device which is created by human being and then working instead of human being. So the machine perception can be used in artificial intelligence. So this machine perception means what, which is the ability to use input from the sensor. That means what, as I've said before, the sensor or the camera or whatever which senses the environment, and then it can receive some input or data. For example, the sensor might be the camera or the sensor itself, or it might be microphones and then extra. So it receives some input from this one and then deduce the aspects of the world. It might be the meteorologist agency can use this type of artificial intelligence. Then for any type of research purpose, they can use the artificial intelligence. So these sensors can interact with the environment, and then it can do whatever exist on the world for the user or for the human. So like for example, computer vision is one of the machine perception. So the high profile examples of artificial intelligence, actually there are a lot of artificial intelligence examples, but the high profile artificial intelligence might be the autonomous vehicles like drones or self-driving cars, medical diagnosis, especially in the medical diagnosis nowadays. The doctors are only simply sitting and then ordering the robot to perform any type of medical diagnosis. Yes, and then it can do also proving some mathematical theorems and then playing games. You see, it is more than the human skill. So it can do different mathematical theorems for proving, and then it can perform as the search engine for search engine, and then it can create the art, for example, like pottery, online assistant like Siri or the chatbot, and then image recognition in photographs, then spam filtering, especially when we are using email or Gmail or any electronic mail, then it can perform as spam filtering. Most of the time, when somebody or an authorized or unknown individual want to send some message or email for us, and then it can easily understand and then inform us to take care. So it might be sent to what, to the spam, because if it is not legally the owner of known person. So that is why predicting the judicial decision, online advertisement, these all are what the work of the artificial intelligence, which are the highly profiled artificial intelligences. So in the artificial intelligence, it can perform or it can control the world by using this artificial intelligence. Okay, fine. So the artificial intelligence deals with the area of developing computing systems that are capable of performing tasks, especially that humans are very good at. For example, recognizing objects, as I've said before, when the robots are playing football, they can recognize the objects, recognizing whatever, and then making sense of speech, ordering to sense the speech or try to speak something, decision making in constrained environments where it is difficult for the human being. So this artificial intelligence is what, for example, there is the technology which we can use like deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligences. So this deep learning and then machine learnings are what, the newly created technologies or the very important technologies which we can use nowadays. So when we are saying actually the machine learning, it is what about training the machine, training the device. When you are, for example, doing before when the robots are playing football or doing something, they are what, they are trained. You are daily or timely, you are training again and again. So the trained device can act what we want from them. That is why it is always doing after teaching them. That is machine learning. Okay, why we need the artificial intelligence? What is the importance of this artificial intelligence? The first need of this artificial intelligence is to create expert system that exhibits or shows intelligent behavior with the capability to learn, demonstrate, or show something, explain, and advise its users even. Because when we are using artificial intelligence or the robot or the device, then it is what, advising us what to do, how to perform, and then the guideline or instruct us how to use, because it is already the command given to it. And then the other one is helping machines. That means what, it can find the solution for the complex problems which we cannot easily perform, like especially by having or applying the algorithms. Different algorithms or codes are given to, then based on the given code, it can find the solution for the complex problems. So especially when it is working, then the user can perform it within the user friendly or without any problem. The other point is the goals of artificial intelligence. The first one, or the goal why we are using the artificial intelligence, is it replicates human intelligence. The second one is solve knowledge intensive or tough tasks. And then the third one, it creates intelligent connections, especially like using the perception and then applying any action upon the given intelligence. And then builds the machine which can perform tasks that requires human intelligence. For example, like proving the theorems, as we have said, playing the chess, or playing some surgical operations, driving a car in traffic. Because when we are using self-driving cars or without drivers, then it can sense the environment easily, the distance of other cars, and then everything should be sensed, and then apply the knowledge given to it. It's fine. What comprises to artificial intelligence, or artificial intelligence is created from what? Actually, when we are talking about artificial intelligence, even if we say that artificial intelligence is the computer science branch, or branch of computer science, actually it is came from different principles, or from different areas, from different knowledge. Obviously, the artificial intelligence or the intelligence is intangible part of our brain, which is combining some reasoning, learning, problem solving, or perception, language understanding, obviously. But whatever it is, this artificial intelligence needs some additional departments or some additional disciplines, obviously. So this type of disciplines might be, it can require mathematical knowledge from maths background, from biological background, for example doing surgical, from psychology background, from sociology background, from computer science, from neuron study, from statistics. These all background or disciplines are combined together and then create the artificial intelligence. So these artificial intelligence are what? The combination of these different knowledge, or different from different backgrounds. So you can see from this picture also. Okay, then let's see the advantage and then disadvantage of the artificial intelligence. What are the advantage? Why we use the artificial intelligence? What is the importance of using this artificial intelligence? The first one is high accuracy with fewer errors. Actually, if you remember the characteristics of computer, because the artificial intelligence is a device or a computer, so it is accurate. The accuracy is one of the example or characteristics of computer. However, even if it is accurate, might be the error of the error of the user, or the error of the programmer, maybe make the artificial intelligence somewhat error creator. However, it can perform the given instruction without any error, or might be a few error maybe exist based on the given command, unless the given instruction should be performed accurately without any error. And then the other is the high speed. Obvious, when we are using a computer, it is what? Simplifying our work. That means it can perform the given instruction within the given short period of time. That means high speed. Then high reliability. It can perform the given instructions without any problem, the existence. And then useful for risky areas. Yeah, for example, some of the medical doctors are using the robots or the artificial intelligence, for example, for surgical purposes, because the human being can forget, the human being can may create errors, but the computer cannot create the error because it is already it is the given instruction, so it is accurate. So in the risky area, for example, in calculation, in salary, or in a bank, or in somewhere in risky areas, then it is better to give to the computer. For example, when you go to the bank, when you want to withdraw a large amount of money, then the cashier by themselves, they are not counting by themselves, because they rely upon the machine and then put the money on the machine, and then the machine by itself, they can count, and then they can repeatedly do this one, because it is what, it is the risky time solver. And then the digital assistant, one of the other advantages, digital assistant. For example, chatbot, when you are applying some scholarship or doing something on some websites, they are communicating with us and then leading us to what we are going to do. So this is one of the best advantage of the artificial intelligence. Useful as a public utility. Obviously, it can be used in the public utility. Okay, let's see some disadvantage of the artificial intelligence. Even if it has the advantage, it's obviously everything has advantage and then disadvantage. Nothing is created on this world without a disadvantage. Okay, some of the disadvantage or backwardness of problem of this artificial intelligence is high cost. That means what? Maintaining, using, buying of them is very costly, because they are highly developed technological machines. So it needs what? High cost. Then it cannot think out of the box. What does it mean? It cannot think out of the box. What is the box? Yes, so that means what? It cannot think out of the box means what? The artificial intelligence are given only the command. For example, if 100 commands are given to it, then it cannot do or it cannot perform beyond 100 instructions given to it. So it is what? Limited to perform only the given instruction. It cannot do beyond its knowledge, beyond its experience. It cannot add some additional knowledge, or it cannot give additional extra information to the users. So it is only working or implementing the given instruction only. That is why it cannot think out of the box. That means what? It is not like human that is thinking, why not I do this one, or why not I perform this one, why not I perform beyond this one. They cannot think like that. They are only depend on the given instructions only. Then they are reading the instruction and then performing, reading instruction and then performing. So that is why this is the problem of the artificial intelligence. The third one is no feeling and then no emotions, because they are what? Non-living things. If you maybe kick them, or if you maybe slap them or do whatever upon them, they don't think that I feel something, or maybe facial expression or showing something is not expected from them, because they have no any living thing as a part. And then the fourth and last one is increased dependency on the machine. Obvious, because it is what? It depends on the given machine. The machine is performing only. It is reading the given instruction and then investigating or implementing that one or applying the knowledge. So it can what? Depend on the machine. They cannot work by themselves. The computer is only ordering, or the code is only commanding, and then based on the given command it is performing. So it depends on the machine, or they can say machine dependent. And then no original creativity. Obviously, that means what? The artificial intelligence cannot create by itself something different. That is what? Only applying the given instruction. That is why no original creativity by themselves. They are only running or executing the given instruction. Well, the other part of the artificial intelligence is the levels of this artificial intelligence. Especially in artificial intelligence, the technology learns from the environment, we have said that, and gets this knowledge from the experience to make decision about what? The given problem or something. So we can say that there are about 7 levels or artificial intelligence states. The first one is rule-based system. That means what? The given rule is provided to it, then based on the given rule that artificial intelligence is only implementing or working. The rules are what? Only the guider by which the artificial intelligence only performing. This is the first stage. The second stage is the context awareness and then retention. That means what? The training on the knowledge and experience of the best humans, and their knowledge base can be what? Updated as a new situation and the queries arise, because it surface at or it updates itself is based on the given instructions, like the human give information. So it receives the given instruction and then it aware itself and then update always based on what? The given instruction, then it can recall or return it. That is why. The third one is domain specific expertise. Actually, in the disadvantage of the artificial intelligence, before we said that it cannot think out of the box. We said that. So that means what? It is what? Domain specific expertise. It is fully 100% expertised based on the given instruction only. If you give 100 instruction or 10 instruction to the artificial intelligence, then it know the given instructions well. Beyond that one, it cannot. So the domain of that artificial intelligence is what? Limited. Only the given instructions, the given codes can be applicable or performed. Beyond that, it cannot. So can make a decision for the given domain based on what they are instructed only. So they cannot perform other than the given instruction. The fourth one is reasoning emotion. Obviously, we said that it is like human being, thinking like human being, reasoning, and then learning about the definition of the artificial intelligence. So in the fourth stage or level, they can reason because the machine is reasoning. That means what? They have the sense of beliefs, intention, knowledge, and then how their own logic works, because the given instruction, and then if the given instruction is given to it, it know how it is working. So obviously giving some reasons or knowledge upon that one. The fifth stage is about the self-awareness system, or you can say artificial general intelligence or AGI. The systems have human-like intelligence, so it is what? Self-awareing system. It is always what? The intelligent, because since it is intelligent, it can aware itself like human being. Like human being, for example, when we have planned something, or for example, if I want to do something after 2 hours or after a days, then when the days are arriving, I am awareing myself and then, oh, I have a plan to do something like that. So why? Because I have already captured in my mind and then I should remember that one. So this is the awareness of the system. And then the sixth one is artificial superintelligence, ACI. So that means what? The devices are out of the smart, or you can say out smart. Even if it can solve problems we can fail to do, because the knowledge of human being is specific, but this type of intelligent are what? The super intelligent, beyond the capability of the human being. Actually, this type of the artificial intelligence, or this type of intelligence is performing, for example, like if there is some world hunger, some dangerous environmental changes are happening, the climate change or whatever, or volcanic eruption, whatever, then they can think and then do some response or give some smart response for the users. So these are what? All researching. Actually, this is beyond the capacity of human. And then the last one is the singularity and then transcendence. That means what? It is beyond the range of the normal perception. That means beyond the knowledge of the human being, or we can say beyond the limits of human body, and then connect to other forms of intelligence. Like for example, trying to interact something beyond the capacity or the capability of the human being, like trying to connect to the internet, trying to connecting to the animals or plants or weather systems, understanding, and then natural environments. Actually, this type of the artificial intelligences are beyond the knowledge of human being, and then also they are somewhat on the research. This type of the artificial intelligence are still not concluded. So this type of, or this level of the knowledge, or this level of this artificial intelligence is very serious in otherwise, because in another way we can say that when the level of the artificial intelligence reached on this singularity and then transcendence level, and then it expected that, obviously we know that the world is becoming a single village or one village. That means what? The communication medium and then the idea of this world will be one line or one language, one currency for buying or selling something like that. So in that case, since the technology is increasing or becoming very high or becoming very smart, and then the knowledge of the artificial intelligence can be beyond the human capability. So this is a very, in another way, this is a very dangerous technology, because it says that the human are not needed at this level, because it can perform the everything without the need of human beings. So the world is not needed, only the specific people or specific persons are only needed. For example, around this world, maybe if I may fail, I don't know, but it is about more than 7 billion people are available. So from this one, 10% or 15% of the people are only important or available, and then the others are what? Needed, are not needed, useless. So this type of theory, this type of research or knowledge will be happening on the coming level, when the stage of this artificial intelligence reached on the singularity and then transcendence. Okay, well, so the level of artificial intelligence or the maturity of this artificial intelligence can be seen in this way. That means how the artificial intelligence is matured, or level of maturity of the artificial intelligence. The first one is the perception. That means what? What is happening now? Giving some perception. And then the second level of maturity is about notification, notifying itself. What do I need to know? You see, it is updating itself, notifying itself. And then the third one is about suggestion, giving some suggestion. That means what? What do you recommend me? You see, it needs what? Some suggestion or some recommendation. And then in the fourth level of the maturity, there is automation. That means what? What should I always do? Daily, always, timely, it is what? Updating and then expecting something to be done. And then after that, in the fifth level, it is prediction, predicting something. What can I expect to happen? You see, it is about something expectation, new thing expectation from this prediction level. And then if you expect something, and then in the fifth level, there should be some prevention, avoiding unimportant things, which is obstacle for its maturity. And then after it is avoided, lastly, there is a situational awareness. That means what? What do I need to do right now? That means what? If it come along this all stage, then finally there is what? A situational awareness, and then needing something to do at this moment. That is about the today's class. So thank you for having time with me, and then this is the end of the part one. Actually, there will be types of artificial intelligence. We will come, or I will come on the types of artificial intelligence, and then conclude the left informations. Then if you are a newcomer, and then if you wanted to see again another tutorials, then you can like and then subscribe this one. Then also I would like if you share it for your friends, especially first year students, to have this type of the understanding. Then if you have a question and then comments, you can write under this comment. Especially advise you to ask any type of question upon the classes I have passed from the first chapter to this one. Thank you, and then I would like to say you Bye bye.